Have you ever asked yourself, what could I possibly do today to become a better version of myself tomorrow? This question underlines the essence of self-improvement, a continuous journey that holds the power to transform our lives. Self-improvement is not just about personal growth, it's like an all-encompassing umbrella that positively impacts every facet of our existence. It's about honing our skills, nurturing our passions, and pushing our limits. It's about becoming the best we can be, not just for ourselves, but also for those around us. From the realm of our personal lives to our professional careers, self-improvement plays a pivotal role. It's the driving force that propels us to achieve our career goals, and it's the gentle hand that guides us in building stronger, healthier relationships. Remember, self-improvement isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's about constant learning, growing, and evolving. The journey of self-improvement begins with a single step. Ready to take yours? Motivation fuels the engine of self-improvement. But how do we keep that engine running? Let's start with understanding what motivation is. It's that inner drive that pushes us to make changes, take action, and strive for better. It's the spark that ignites the flame of self-improvement. Without motivation, the journey towards self-improvement can feel like climbing a mountain without any gear. It's not impossible, but it's definitely a lot harder. So how does motivation play its part in self-improvement? Well, motivation is like the fuel that keeps our self-improvement engine running. It helps us maintain the momentum, propelling us forward even when the road gets tough. It's the force that keeps us going when we face obstacles or when we start to doubt ourselves. But here's the thing about motivation. It's not always there when we need it. It's not a constant. Some days we wake up fired up, ready to take on the world. Other days we struggle to even get out of bed. That's why it's crucial to learn how to create and maintain our motivation. Creating motivation can start with setting clear, achievable goals, visualizing the end result, celebrating small victories, and surrounding ourselves with positivity. Maintaining motivation, on the other hand, requires consistent effort. It's about keeping that fire alive, stoking it even on days when it feels like it's about to go out. Remember, motivation is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. So let's keep that engine running and keep moving forward on our journey of self-improvement. Now that we understand the importance of self-improvement and motivation, let's dive into some practical ways to boost them. First off, setting clear goals is crucial. It's like plotting your destination on a map before you start your journey. So ask yourself, what do you want to achieve? What are your career, personal, and health goals? Break them down into smaller, manageable tasks and set realistic timelines to accomplish them. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Next, it's about maintaining a positive attitude. It's no secret that life throws curveballs at us, but it's not about the challenges we face, but how we respond to them. Stay optimistic. See failures as opportunities to learn, not as roadblocks. Embrace the idea that you can grow and improve. It might sound like a cliché, but believe me, your attitude determines your direction. Embracing learning is another key. This could mean picking up a new skill, taking up a new hobby, or simply reading a book. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better equipped you are to make informed decisions and to grow as an individual. So never stop learning. Be curious, ask questions, seek answers. It's a lifelong journey, but it's one worth taking. Lastly, let's talk about resilience. It's the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when things get tough. It's about being flexible and adaptable. Remember, it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. So build your resilience. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. In essence, self-improvement is an ongoing process. It's about constantly striving to be the best version of yourself. It's about recognizing your strengths and weaknesses and working on them. It's about pushing your boundaries and stepping out of your comfort zone. These are just a few strategies that can set you on the path to continuous self-improvement. So we've got the tips for self-improvement. But what about maintaining that ever-important motivation? Now that's a million-dollar question, isn't it? We all know the feeling of setting a goal with excitement and determination, only to find our motivation waning as time goes by. But don't worry, because today we're going to spill the beans on some fantastic strategies to keep your motivation at an all-time high. First off, let's talk about breaking goals into smaller tasks. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. If you keep staring at the peak, it might seem impossible to reach. But if you focus on the next step, then the one after that, before you know it, you'll be at the top. The same principle applies to our goals. Break them down into smaller, manageable tasks, and you'll be amazed at how much easier it feels to stay motivated. Next up, let's celebrate our successes. Every time you complete a task or hit a milestone, give yourself a pat on the back. Maybe treat yourself to something nice or simply take a moment to appreciate your hard work. Celebrating your achievements, no matter how small, boosts your motivation and makes the journey towards your goal a lot more enjoyable. Now let's talk about failures. They're inevitable, right? But guess what? They're also valuable learning experiences. When you stumble, instead of beating yourself up, try reframing the experience. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This shift in perspective can turn a setback into a step forward, fueling your motivation instead of draining it. Remember, motivation isn't a one-time thing. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. So keep breaking down those goals, celebrating your wins, and learning from your losses. Keeping your motivation high is crucial to your self-improvement journey. Use these strategies to stay on track. And always remember, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. So let's get started, shall we? We've covered quite a bit, so let's take a moment to recap. We started our journey by exploring the power of self-improvement. It's that internal driving force that pushes us to be better, to do better, and to live better. It's the key that unlocks our potential and transforms us into the best versions of ourselves. We then dived into the role of motivation in self-improvement. It's the fuel that keeps our engine running, the spark that ignites our passion. Without motivation, self-improvement can feel like a daunting task. But with it, we find ourselves eager to grow, to learn, and to improve. Next, we armed ourselves with practical tips for self-improvement. From setting realistic goals to maintaining a positive attitude, these tips act as our roadmap, guiding us along the path of self-improvement. They remind us that while the journey may be challenging, it's also rewarding. And lastly, we delved into strategies for maintaining motivation. Because let's face it, staying motivated isn't always easy. But by celebrating our progress, surrounding ourselves with positivity, and keeping our eyes on the prize, we can keep that motivation alive. Remember, the journey of self-improvement is a lifelong one. Embrace the journey, maintain your motivation, and watch as you become the best version of yourself.